Hey everybody, I just wanted to pop on briefly because I have something on my heart that I really want to share. And it's something that has been kind of coming up, from my subconscious, from the depths over the last couple of days. And I realized that this was something that, because I wasn't feeling so hot for a couple of days, my body was just being weird. It does it sometimes. But I was having trouble really listening to the cues from my intuition because I was just really drained. I didn't have any energy. I was really dead and blah. And so as soon as I reached a point where I was able to follow that, because I noticed it was particularly strong, I was like, oh man. And it was literally like I did one thing that I felt instinctively guided to do, which was draw. And I was in a really low mood too, because hormone imbalance just does weird things to you guys. It's weird stuff. You feel sick and sad all at the same time sometimes. It's whatever. You find a way to make it through that. And so yeah, in that moment, I had the strength and I decided that I was going to draw. And I drew a picture. I'll show it to you actually. I put it in my story yesterday, but I just want to share it. So I drew this picture because I was all sad and lonely and having all the feels, and that's totally cool. It tells you about yourself, it tells you what you need, what you don't need, and it helps you to do something with that feeling instead of just let it sit there and kind of fester, which means to rot. And nobody wants to be just rotting, Do something with that energy. Find a way to express it, or let go of it, whatever works for you in that moment. And anyways, so I kind of ended up getting on this huge roll, where I realized that one thing after the next, when I followed an instinct that a lot of the time didn't really mesh with what my kind of schedule was, but I was just listening to my needs, regardless, it was really giving me what I needed. And that's something that's so important, is having that balance between giving yourself the extreme of being very scheduled and the extreme of being really free-flowing and intuitive. You've got to find kind of the right ebb and flow for those in order to have a really healthy relationship with your mind and emotions. And so that was something that I really wanted to share, because the other thing that I noticed that kind of did that for me yesterday, I had just been working for a while, and it was probably about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was so tired, you guys. I was so drained, and everything in me was just like, girl, you need a fucking nap. And I was like, but if I take a nap, I might not be able to fall asleep tonight, and that'll throw my whole schedule off, and I have to be up really early tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. And instead of listening to the blah, 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 I was like, you really need a nap. You have not been feeling so hot the last couple days. You need to get yourself taken care of. Just take the nap. You're going to be fine. If you don't sleep that great tonight, at least you got some rest, and you'll still get some tonight, right? So I took the nap, you guys. And I woke up 3 hours later. It was almost 8 o'clock. And I was like, girl, what? And then you know what happened? I had a nice dinner. I felt inspired. I shared something from my heart. I had a really amazing conversation that was just beautiful and deep and spiritual and profound and lighthearted and wonderful. And I was up until I was tired. And that ended up being around midnight. And then I went to sleep. And because I had had a 3-hour nap, I woke up at my scheduled time. And you know what? Fresh as a daisy. And I still am feeling good. It's the next evening now. And so I just wanted to emphasize that, you have these built-in instincts. And yes, it is so important to schedule things, give yourself a sacred structure to flow within so that once you arrive in your day, you know exactly what to do. You know that you're going to be productive and grounded and getting your gifts into the world in the way that's right for you. But don't let it become so rigid that you don't give yourself what you truly need. If something comes up spur of the moment, like you need more rest or you need to be creative to get out of a rut, you've got to give yourself some wiggle room within that structure. So let yourself play with it. Let yourself occasionally make a mistake while trying to find that balance. It's totally okay. And that's the only way that we ever learn. And so embrace the process. Embrace what I like to call the diagram, where we're constantly expanding and contracting and finding balance between these polarities in life that we're always swirling, spiraling, moving between as we go. And just get out there and be your gosh darn best self, because you are so important, you are so needed, and you are so freaking loved. So give yourself 112 props and get out there and do your thing and let yourself just shine. Let yourself be seen and just don't be scared, okay? I got your back. Message me. We'll hang out. We'll be good. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in and have a fantastic, fantabulous, and inspired day. Bye.